Coliseum is kind of of course, it's an unbelievable place in American history. But in football, it's a phenomenal place to play. It's a great venue. Um, it's a special place, so we're excited about going there. They've got a good football team. Since they put Sam Darnold in at quarterback, he is an athlete that's making plays. To me, it looks like they basically changed their entire offense in the last 2 weeks. And they're moving the ball, getting the ball to their playmakers, and they've got some playmakers. Their offensive line is huge and big and athletic. Defensively, they've got athletes on that side of the ball that can make plays. I've been impressed, of course, with Adoree Jackson, and been impressed with their two inside guys. I can't pronounce Stevie's last name. I'll just say Stevie, number 96, and Rasheem, number 94. They got some good football players. So they played really, really well last week against Arizona State. So I'll take any questions at this time.
Coach, whether it was at a meeting or practice, was there any kind of team-wide acknowledgement of the national ranking, or is that something you've been trying to downplay from the get-go this week?
We talked about it for maybe 5 seconds, maybe, basically was I said, they've earned the right to be acknowledged for what they've done, but it means nothing Saturday. You have to keep proving it. You have to keep doing it week after week after week, and it's what got us here, our work ethic and believing in Colorado football. And so they have to keep doing that exact same thing. But I think it's nice for those young men as hard as they work to be acknowledged for something. But it's just a blip right now.
Like it seems like talking to some of the players this week that when they were younger, there might have been some awe over playing a team, a sport program like USC, or playing at a place like the Coliseum or Autzen or whatever. But now it almost seems like it's just kind of a take it with a grain of salt. That's just the next thing. Is that just a matter of this experience that we've been talking about coming through?
Yeah, it is. And a lot of these kids have played there before, and we played in a lot of great venues and a lot of great places. So, they see themselves as a Pac-12 football team. That's what you do. You go play in places like that, and USC wants to beat us, and we want to go there and beat them. So that's what it's all about.
More questions for Coach?
They're slow today. Must have already ate. Did y'all already eat? That's the problem.
Coach, what will be the determining factor this week in you choosing the quarterback?
We're going to just play it out through the week and then see how healthy Cepho is. It'll be really a game time decision again on how we do it all.
So if Cepho's health?
Yeah, Cepho's health is the biggest key in it, yes.
Witherspoon's a guy who's made some big plays for you in the secondary. What is the biggest jump you've seen from him from last year to this year?
He's always had excellent athletic ability and done a lot of excellent things. He's just gotten better at his trade is the best way to explain it. He's more focused. I'm not saying he wasn't focused before, he's just more focused. I just think like our whole team, he's just matured like our whole football team. He has excellent athletic ability. I think his best attribute, of course, besides his length, is his great ball skills. He really has great depth perception on judging a football and has phenomenal hands. So when he's around the guy, it's a 50-50 ball. If it's going to be ours or theirs, or he has such length he can get it away. So he's an excellent cover guy.
One of the guys that Kello's going to be going up against in the rest of the secondary is Juju Smith-Schuster, who's a very talented wide receiver. You want to just talk about his plan at slowing him down here.
Yeah, Juju is a heck of a player. He's big, he's powerful. He had a heck of a game last week. He's going to make some plays. We just can't give him up too many big plays. We've got to be able to handle that and understand that they're going to make some plays because they got good football players, and so do we. But we can't let him just run wild on us, so to speak.
Coach, just to clarify on Cepho, if he's 100% healthy, he's your guy?
If we'll see. It all depends on his health. And if he's ready to go, we'll be ready to play.
Coach Cepho did say today that he felt that his ankle was 100%. From what you've seen so far this week, would you agree with that?
No. He's the toughest sucker in the building, and he's going to say that no matter what. He said that 2 weeks ago. The trainers evaluate it, we'll evaluate it, he'll evaluate it, and we'll make sure. I don't want to put him out there if he's not fully ready to go.
Coach, in terms of what Steven has done for you guys, is there a word? Is it surprised? Is it expected? What are your thoughts on what he's been able to do?
Well, we knew he had the ability. We've seen him do it in the spring and in fall camp. He was able to play a little bit in a few games. The Michigan game when he got thrown in there in that situation, Cephala had been playing so well, and then we got behind, and their D-line kind of feasted on us a little bit. That was a tough situation to put him in. I knew he would play well against Oregon. Did I know he would do that well? I wouldn't say I knew he would do that well, but I knew our team would rally behind him. Our receivers made some phenomenal plays to help him. I was really pleased with what Steven did. I think Steven's a heck of a quarterback. I feel like that we could definitely win with Steven playing for us at quarterback against anybody we play.
Hey, Coach. Last week in particular, USC really put a lot of pressure on the quarterback and stopped the run game at the same time. Can you talk about addressing the special challenge their defense presents?
Right. Clancy Pendergrass is an excellent defensive coordinator. I know Clancy pretty well. He last week he did a lot of blitzing, bought a lot of safety blitzes. Kind of reminded me of the days of Dallas Cowboys with Mike Zimmer, because he worked for Mike Zimmer, and so did I. That's kind of how we know each other. And he was bringing safety blitzes from the boundary a tremendous amount, which is a Zimmer trademark. They did that. That's the first time they've done that much. And I expect us to see some of those types of blitzes in this game. We have a little bit different offense than what Arizona State does, so that it dictates kind of what you do with their schemes a little bit. So we'll see. But he'll definitely have some arsenal up his sleeve and some things to do. And he's a heck of a defense coordinator, and he's got some really good players to utilize in his defense.
Coach, the Trojans' punt return team, as of right now, averages about 25 yards per punt return. Is there anything that concerns you about that potential matchup?
Yeah, number 2, Adoree Jackson. That's who concerns me. He does it. They do a good job blocking, but in one game he let the ball hit a couple times, and also he let the ball hit. And he just baited the team, and then caught it, made a guy miss, and then made 3 more guys miss, and went to the house. He's a phenomenal athlete. He's fearless back there as a punt returner. We've got to cover well and punt it well. So we're definitely working on stopping. He also returns kickoffs. He does a good job of that. So we've got to know where number 2 is and go get him.
Coach, you've got a ton of California guys on your roster. I know this game means a lot to them, but what do you do to maybe just hone them in on their focus and let them know that this is the...
Yeah. We've talked about it already. We talked about it Monday, first thing in our meeting. A lot of guys are going home, a lot of family, a lot of things. I want to get all their tickets, all that stuff out of the way early this week, and be homed in to go for a business trip to go, win a football game. That's what our goal is. And I said after the game, after we win, we can spend a lot more time with them. It's an early kickoff, thank goodness, so we can hang around a little bit longer and let them see their families. But the whole key is to go down there and win the football game. Just like USC, they're preparing for us to come in there and beat us. So it's a business trip, and our guys will be ready for that. We do have a lot of California kids on our team, and we always will, especially playing in the Pac-12.
Coach, on a national stage, it seems like everybody is so fire and hire crazy in this college football day and age. Does what you guys have done here through the first couple of games kind of prove that it maybe takes a while to get a program headed in the right direction?
Well, I definitely think it does. It's a process. Sometimes you walk into situations where the cupboard's kind of full, and the league you're in might be down a little bit, and you kind of hit it at the right time. But to really build a program and build it with integrity and build it with character and develop the type of young men you want to develop and stabilize it with a foundation for years to come, it definitely takes a while. You can't build a house overnight and have a bad foundation that falls apart. So I think it definitely takes time to do that.
Darian Hagan is in his 12th year on the staff here. I would imagine there were opportunities for him to leave during some of the tough times. What do you think it says about his kind of loyalty to this place that he's still here?
I'd have to let Darian answer that, but Darian feels like that, doesn't feel like he believes with his heart and soul that Colorado gave him a phenomenal opportunity, and he really grew up here. And listening to him talk about it, and he put blood, sweat, and tears on that field. He's put a lot of time in here, invested in the young people. He believes in the University of Colorado. He loves the Boulder area. He has a lot of friends and everybody here, so he's totally invested in the program, but also in the city, and I think also in just the, I don't know if the word's the right correct word, but just kind of the fabric. He's kind of intertwined to me in Colorado football. When you say Darian Hagan, everybody thinks Colorado football. You don't always think that about everybody you see that play. When people say Mike MacIntyre, they don't automatically think Georgia Tech football. I wasn't the player that Darian Hagan was. So I think that intertwines him, endears him to Colorado, and endears him to the people of Colorado. And then, when you hang around Darian, he's always smiling. He's just a happy-go-lucky guy that makes everybody happy, and I think that's contagious.
Coach, with this USC team sort of finding themselves of late, how important is it for you to go in there and play that up-tempo style of football?
Well, we're going to go in there and play Colorado football, fast and tough. That's what we do, and that's who we are. And that's everybody said, well, what is y'all's identity? We're fast and tough. That's what we think, and so that's what we got to go in there and do. They're big and physical and athletic, and it's going to be a heck of a football game. We're definitely going to have to score points to beat them for sure.
Just a few words on Terran Hasselbeck. Seemed like he made some strides in the last game.
Yeah, Terran Terran has made strides all along, and then Derek McCartney going down, Terran backed him up and was playing, so that's given him another role. He's stepped up in his role and done well, and that's key for any team to be successful. That's something that we talk about all the time. When your number's called, step up. Next guy up. Next guy up. And so far this season, guys' numbers that have been called have stepped up, and we're going to have to do that throughout the season. We've got 7 really tough football games ahead, and there's going to be a lot of guys' names that you're not saying right now. I hope that you're saying a lot of when they get their chance to step in, because I think they have experience and I think they're good athletes.
That kind of leads into my question. I was going to ask you about the depth, and I know you guys have tried for the whole time being here to build that depth, and now you've got it. You're seeing Steven Montez and Terran Hasselbeck, guys like that. What does that mean to you, just to be able to see these guys stepping up, and you've now got the depth?
Yeah, it helps a tremendous amount, because the game of football, compared to most sports, you always have injuries in every sport, there's no doubt, but the game of football, you always have a few, each game is just kind of different. I always tell them, every game's its own season within itself, because we have a different team we're putting on the field. Just like USC has a little bit different team than they put on the field last week. It might be a couple special team spots, it might be a lineman, you don't know, it might not be the marquee guy that everybody's talking about, but it changes week to week, and the depth of that position, of those positions, is key for you to sustain and be successful, especially in the gauntlet of games we play.
Like I talked to a number of players who said they feel like they still have to earn the respect of some of these Pac-12 opponents that are coming up on your schedule, like a USC. Do you sense that? Is that a motivating factor for this team? What's your sense on that?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think how many times Colorado played USC?
10.
How many times they beat them? 0. So we have to earn our respect. There is no doubt about it. And, it's fun to do something that's never been done, and so hopefully we can do that. And I think that is something that, I think you always need a little bit of chip on your shoulder in whatever you do. I think it gives you an added advantage.
Any final questions for Coach? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, appreciate it. Glad y'all woke up.